Let's talk about OTT.
My very first OTT experience.
Was this your first indie wrestling experience?
It was. Well, apart from that one time I saw Kevin Thorne wrestle in a hotel for 10 seconds.
Yeah, it was funny because one of the things people really like about OTT is that there are people, not you and I obviously, but there are people who go to these shows, and I've chatted to them, and they remember just a few years ago when fucking indie wrestling in Ireland was the Stone Age.
Yeah.
And obviously, if you don't know by now, folks, I guess we should have opened with this earlier, but we got a legitimate surprise in Finn Balor.
Opening the show.
Opening the show they let us in way early, so we were in the Tivoli for about an hour before the show started, which was a bit much. I mean, I could hear people around me getting a bit restless, but about 20 minutes before the show actually kicked off, they put a timer on, which everyone was like, oh, cool, a timer. And they don't usually do that, by the way. They've never done that before. So it counted down, and as it got to like 10 seconds, they had these like red lights. And then as the counter hit 0, they started to play some music, and we're like, what's this? I was like, who's coming out here? Who's doing this? It's probably someone doing a Balor fucking knockoff or whatever. But when the music started to pick up and people realized who it was, you suddenly could not hear yourself think in this building. It was absolutely, completely bonkers. And then he came out and everyone did the hands thing, and it was like, they put the full clip up on YouTube, so if you look for Finn Balor Over the Top Wrestling on YouTube, his whole promo is there and the intro. Great moments, just such a cool thing. And honestly, just watch it and just close your eyes and ask yourself, how many people are in this building? Because it sounds like there's about 10 times more than there actually is. Because it's a max of about 600, but it's like the loudest indie crowd you'll hear.
If you want to play Where's Wally... who's in the background of that clip? Little Paul and little Natty in the background.
Are you?
Yeah.
Someone actually asked me if I was the one who said you're looking well, and he said cheers, mate. And I was like, I was not.
No, I must give credit to Barry where credit is due, though. You were very good at starting chants, I must say. Every now and then, chants would break out, and the first voice I would hear chanting was little Barry Murphy. So
yeah, and I didn't do any dumb ones. I didn't do any. What's the worst chant? What chants do you not like?
You deserve it.
You deserve it.
Is the worst. Awesome. The worst one.
Oh my god! I would stop going to OTT if they did. We are awesome. Oh my god. Anyway. My pal Sean, who was with me, he was the one, though, he did get the WLC chant started.
Yeah.
When they brought out the little table. But anyway, and one of the great things about Balor's promo is that he came out, obviously, I guess we'll talk about the UK tournament in a bit, but OTT got a mention, from Triple H on stage. Joe Cabray, the promoter, is obviously formerly of NXT. Formerly of NXT, rather. So Balor came out and he talked about, back in the day, Irish Whip Wrestling and NWA Ireland, these shows that were they were around for years. OTT's only like 2.5 years old, and it's already kind of eclipsed everything that came before it in some ways. So it was really cool. He was, he's Finn Balor, so he wasn't doing a big, bombastic, I'm a wrestler man promo. He was just doing his little, it's nice to be here, and indies have come a long way, and OTT's great, and he was very cute. And the atmosphere was just crazy, because if you watch the clip, everyone goes ballistic when he comes out, and then they're very, very quiet when he's speaking, because they want to hear. And I think the height of that, Paul, was when everyone was quiet listening to him, and you just heard very loud set of cans opening.
Yeah,
that was pretty good. So that was a legitimate surprise. That's as surprised as I've ever been, like, at a wrestling thing. That I can recall.
It's funny because I obviously don't know all the people and their music and stuff, so we just hear the judge. I don't know if the show starting is what's going on here, and then it became more and more apparent by looking at, because we could see the little Titantron to the left as well.
Yeah,
that I was like, this is looking like the Finn Balor video, and then the moment of realization where you're like, well, hang on a second here, what is going on? And then he came out.
Yeah,
that was crazy. Yeah, standing there, WWE Universal Champion. No more than maybe 4 or 5 feet in front of us. It was like, wow.
Yeah, and in such a small, intimate venue, that was really.
We didn't even mention before the show. Of course, got to meet Mr. Ricochet and Mr. Hornswoggle.
Oh yes,
Very
yeah.
nice.
They were good lads. They were having the bands with everyone in the queue that I saw. They were in good spirits.
I thought it was quite funny. He went up, Ricochet had no shirt on, and his little glasses on,
and his spectacles. Yeah,
yeah, he looked like a little Percy Watson there or something.
Even better shape though.
Yeah.
Percy Watson with new tattoos.
I was quite pleased to find that, and I'm by no means a big man. I think I had about an inch on Ricochet or so.
Here's what you will learn when you go to indie wrestling shows: is that people like you and I are taller than everyone.
Like I was eyeing him up. I said I'd be able to take this lad.
I didn't even notice it when I met the man, but when I posted a picture after WrestleMania weekend, someone said to me, "How much fucking taller than Roderick Strong are you?" I was like, "I don't know. I didn't even really notice." And then I looked at the photo back. It's like, "Oh God, I'm like a foot taller than him."
And Hornswoggle was sitting down as well at a table. And they signed their poster for us, gave us the poster. It was very nice.
The posters, they were nice, glossy posters that they printed off, and Ricochet signed them, and that was great. And I left mine behind.
For real? We have ours in our bedroom.
There was a little alcove behind our seats because we were at the back of the ringside seats, but there was like an alcove behind me. So I said, I can put my cans here, and I can put my poster here, and I can store all my stuff here. And I didn't lose anything important. It's not like I put my phone there and I left without it. But, I did leave my, and it's a shame because it was actually a good quality poster, and Ricochet signed it. But what are you going to do?
Ricochet and Hornswoggle.
And Hornswoggle as well.
Both signed it. And Hornswoggle said he liked my shirt.
Oh, Super Mario.
I had a non-wrestling shirt on. I had my Super Mario shirt on. And I was thinking afterwards, I said, "Fuck! I should have said to him, I'll swap shirts with you or something." So if you like it so much, man, I can have it, mate.
You could wear his as a bandana.
Little did he know, only cost me €8 in pennies. So that's one thing that during the show I was a little uneasy about is they made a joke about okay, I'm sure he could take it. He's a little person, is Hornswoggle, but that he said it's like famous Irish TV show Love Hate is back, and he said he called him Midgie, and I was like, come on now, that's a bit too much.
Yeah, it's not PC.
I
mean, most wrestlers are okay with like family deaths being mentioned on TV to get heat. And shit
it was very quickly followed up with a child molester and paedophile chant. So
that's right. Yeah, they then went with the shtick that he was like, "Well, you'd like it if I was a child" or some shit like that. It was weird. But and the atmosphere at these shows is always really great. I've never met like a real fucking asshole at OTT.
Everybody was nice, as you said they would be, Barry. In the build-up.
And also very nice were Paul and Nat, who had to deal with me going to pee every 2 minutes.
There was one time where Barry went by, I hit him with about 7 unanswered shots to the gut.
The thing is, it's not even a booze thing. I just pee all the fucking time. I really hate when I'm going into a film I'm really excited to see, like Rogue One, because I'm like, I in the lead up, I like preemptively pee like twice in like the 20 minutes before seeing a long film because I don't want to leave during it. But that's just my nature. We weren't queuing too long. You guys were there before us. How long before us were you there?
Oh, not too much. I mean, I'd say we arrived in the queue at about 5:10 something like that.
Okay.
I'd say we were there about 10-15 minutes before Barry arrived.
Yeah, the night in question was not a terrible night to be queuing for OTT, but man, I've been there early on some sucky, cold nights, and it is just no fun at all. And they are generally pretty good at opening on time, but they ain't never opening early, I can tell you that much, and it sucks. But on big shows like this, when they have people like Ospreay, and it's just, it's every man for himself getting them seats. So, in terms of the actual show, the first match was Charlie Sterling, which I believe is his current name, versus Justin Shape. And I guess, these are people I suppose you've never seen before.
No. I thought, my unbiased review, I thought the first 3 matches or so, a little bit too heavily leaning on comedy. But, I kind of get to the point, it's an indie show. I'm not looking for Ring of Honor or anything. But it was comedy match after comedy match after comedy match. I was like, okay.
Yeah, it's a big-time comedy promotion, I think. And it's I've seen the criticism of it, and I think it's.
I think
fair
that's why I enjoyed a little bit more the tag team title match, because it was a little bit more serious, even though there's still aspects of comedy to it.
I've seen the criticism that a lot of the locals do comedy, and then the international guys come in and have the fucking incredible matches, which I think is fair. I think it's fair criticism. Yeah, so it was a solid match. So Charlie Sterling is really hilarious. He's I don't know if you know this, but in the UK he's like a high flying babyface.
I believe it. I thought he was really good. I thought he had a good look.
He is fantastic, and he's kind of a feather in the cap of OTT because of that. Because it's like everywhere else he's completely different, but he just relishes being the English heel in Dublin. He comes out in a beret and with a teacup and saucer, and he's very, very talented, very funny. I actually spoke to him at the Gypsy Rose. I was extremely drunk, but I spoke to him at the after party, and he was super cool. So he's one of those people you can tell really has a ball at the shows, which is cool. And Justin Shape is a veteran of 10 plus years. I mean, he was one of the boys back in the NWA Ireland days. He's a vet. So that was good. Just won clean. What was the second match? I actually can't remember.
One thing they did as well is they did the old Ric Flair get his arse out spot where he's wrestling.
Oh my god, I've seen Charlie Sterling's arse so many times this year.
Well, Justin Shape had a little black thong on that got revealed to the crowd, which is always good for a laugh,
Yeah, there's been so much arse out on OTT shows this year. It is like having Ric Flair on your house show loop.
Yeah.
What was the second match?
Second match. What? Jeez, you're asking the wrong person. I can't remember these people's names.
Was that Fabulous Nikki?
Fabulous Nikki against Peter Tracy. Paul Tracy. Peter Tracy.
Yeah.
Fucking hell. Couldn't remember my own name. This lad.
This one was very comedy again. Like Fabulous Nikki isn't.
He's like Rico, basically.
Yeah, he's like Rico, but like babyface Rico. So he's like a gay caricature, but not in a boo this man for being a gay caricature. Those days, I believe, have gone from wrestling. Hopefully. So yeah, and that was fine. I mean, he's all character basically. Paul Tracy's actually really good. He's had good main events, but I think he's kind of more secondary these days. So his stable, the Social Elite, him, Sterling rather, and Jordan Devlin, they're the snobby Social Elite stable, and he's very much kind of transitioning into a manager-y role. But he's very good, and this basic little match again. The crowd interaction kind of made it. Everyone was chanting and cheering, and they hated Tracy and they loved Nikki, and Nikki's kind of just he's kind of a typical indie worker. He's grand, but again, like you said, lots of comedy. I'm trying to think. Was match 3 the crew versus crew match?
No, I think match 3 was Jordan Devlin and the other lad.
Oh, yeah.
Against
Sean. I can't even remember.
Dave Mastiff, and he was with
Fabian
Eichner from the.
Why are our memories so bad? You weren't even drinking at the show.
Because I don't know who half of these people are anyway. And
Fabian Eichner.
You only see their name by looking at the screen. So
yeah.
This was the first part of the show, by the way, where and they said beforehand, that there's no real area for people to dive. When you do the suicide dives. So they announced beforehand, if security tell you to move, that means you're in the dive area. So this was the first match where that really became apparent, where we were told with about 2 seconds advance warning, oh yeah, lads, you might want to move. 2 seconds later, someone's landing right where we were fucking standing a second ago.
And it's even worse because as incredible as it is as a wrestling venue, because it's just so condensed and everyone's so loud, the Tivoli is not a especially nice building. And me and Kira usually sit at the aisle seats. Obviously, this time it was too busy, so we were squished in with everyone else. Oh my god, I didn't realize people were so close together in those seats. You're like rubbing elbows with everyone, moving. You cannot. I thought
the seating was fine. I didn't have a problem with that, and I don't
know, maybe I'm just getting really fat. I don't know. It's quite possible. But it's like. And also, the row in front of you is not that far ahead. So getting out of your seat and quickly getting out of the way is not as easy as it appears, unless you're front row.
I quite like that aspect of it, though. It was a little bit more exciting.
Oh yeah, it is great. I mean,
that was the one wrestler I got to pat him on the back after. It was the one whose name we didn't remember. Ironically, he did a big plancha to the outside and landed right on the second row, basically.
Yeah, Sean Guinness, I believe his name is, or Sean Baxter. I can't remember what his current name is.
Yeah,
but yeah, that was great. Eichner got over huge, I thought, in that match. He was really
great.
impressive.
He was really good.
He in Limerick and in the last Tivoli show, he was good and he was entertaining, but I didn't feel like, oh, this is a guy they're definitely going to bring back because he's incredible. It's like, hey, he's doing okay. Whereas this one was like, no, he really got the people into it. So I don't know if he is based in the UK or what, but he seems to be taking a lot of UK bookings. So I hope he's a regular because he's very, very talented. And it would be nice if someone from the Cruiserweight Classic who wasn't already established got a little bit of a rub, because I feel like a lot of the big names people talk about have been around for a while, like Kota Ibushi, TJ Perkins. It'd be nice if the CWC actually found someone, you know?
Yeah. Dave Mastiff, by the way, is one of the biggest humans I've ever seen.
He's very big.
He's he's almost a perfect circle. He has almost I thought he was really good, but his physique is almost like an egg cup. He's kind of like that shape.
Oh yeah, he's a big lad, and that's kind of part of his charm. He's very mobile.
Oh, he's very, very good. I think that was the first proper good match where I thought that was the first. Okay, this is actually a really good match. And the thing about OTT is one of kind of the negatives, I suppose. Obviously, this show is going to be on Flow Slam later this month. Even shows I've actually been to, I've watched them back on VOD, and I'm like, these don't translate as well. Like, this ain't you don't buy this and think like, oh, it's a PWG show. I mean, it's incredible live, but like really only some of the matches you can watch on VOD and go, oh, okay, that was great. But this was one, certainly. Really, really great. Devlin obviously is getting a big push, and he's in that WWE tournament. So, more power to him. You then had the crew match, I think. I'm not sure about the order, but that match was there. Yeah,
I think you're right, because it was a pretty limited show. I think it was just 5 matches. I think it was 6 matches.
6, I think, yeah.
So they played the video. They put it up on Facebook previously, but they played the video before this match. I think OTT's skits are really funny. I always enjoy them.
It was very good.
So it was Paddy M from the Flats, who is another kind of, he only debuted in OTT like 3 months ago, but he's another indie wrestling veteran. Been doing it for about 10 years. Him and Worky, their gimmick, as previously discussed, is they're a couple of ravers with no jobs who come out to rave music and listen to, and drink cans and all this stuff. And so basically it was them and Hornswoggle versus Angel Cruz, who's kind of the deluded heel who thinks he's a reality TV star, and his gimmick is that he comes out with 2 security guards who honestly look like they're like 4th-year students.
They do. They look about 15.
It's like, I remember the first time I saw Angel Cruz, I was like, are those like his like nephews?
His sons?
Here? This was the first time I've seen them do anything, actually. This is the first match they interfere in every match. It's the first time I saw them wrestle. But yeah, so Hornswoggle was kind of revealed as the third babyface, and everyone went crazy because he came out to the rave music, and he got up right in front of us and was a thing that every babyface in OTT does, which is grabs a can from the fans and drinks it like the Sandman. He was climbing all over the place. Everyone was going crazy. And they had another comedy match, but it was very entertaining. It was very, very entertaining. Lots of small person based humor. And it did culminate in Hornswoggle getting a little tiny table from under the ring, which did prompt us to chant WLC, and they put Angel Cruz through it, and he did his tadpole splash to win. That was really, really fantastic, and people, as you can tell, people love doing the rave after the match with the song playing and the lights going, and they like to party after the fact. And then they brought out the Session Moth, and this Nikki came out here. Oh no, he came out later, and they just had a big rave. Announced the next show in February, which will have Matt Riddle, Eddie Kingston, and Mark Andrews on it, which is a hell of a lineup. So that was really, really funny, and I think Hornswoggle was really fantastic in his role.
Yeah.
Then we had intermission. They were selling raffle tickets. I could not find a raffle ticket salesperson, so I didn't get one.
Was also no, I wasn't worried about it, but also was a very very long intermission.
It felt longer than usual. Yeah, yeah.
We were sitting there forever. It felt longer than waiting for the show to start at the beginning, though I'm sure it wasn't.
Yeah. I guess they were just trying to shield the raffle tickets and also get people to buy stuff and all that other stuff. Yeah, so the intermission, and then I think it was just 2 matches after the intermission. It was like you said, it was a tight show. So yeah, then the semi-main event was the Kings of the North versus the Gymnasties.
Another great.
The Kings of the North,
they're great.
Yeah, the Kings of the North are great. They are. I mean, they really should be everywhere. I mean, there's no reason they aren't, like regulars in all the big UK indies. Big major league team. They're both good workers. They are great entrants. In the original match, actually, where they lost the titles to the Nasties in May, I think it was, they actually got, I don't know if they were, professional, but they seemed pretty professional. They got drummers to come out and play them to the ring. It was like they had a WrestleMania entrance or something.
Oh, really?
It was really fucking cool. And the Gymnasties had, it was almost like a Home Alone inspired video package before they came out.
Uh-huh.
They're really fun, great comedy acts, good kind of baby faces, but they're not really at the level of the Kings as wrestlers. But the match was good. They had a wacky stipulation where basically the managers for each team had to be handcuffed together or they had to leave ringside. And further shenanigans later in the match when the ref took a bump, they got the handcuffs off and the Gymnasties manager Justin Shape turned heel, which disgusted the crowd. I love when shit like that happens in OTT because everyone gets so incensed and outraged at this injustice.
It was disgraceful. Even I was outraged, but I didn't have any backstory to it.
You didn't have any inclination. The setup, this feud has actually been really good. You would have loved, basically, in the setup for this, the Gymnasties had to get 3 tag team wins to face the Kings of the North for the titles. And they got 2. Basically, the Kings of the North said, for your third match, how about just a one-on-one match, Justin Shape versus Duncan Disorderly, who's the manager for the Kings.
He's got a very good look, Duncan Disorderly, I must say.
He's another veteran. He's been around for years. He's actually wrestled Finn Balor plenty of times. He's very, very good, and he does have a great look. So they wrestled each other in a singles match, and if Justin Shape won, the Nasty's got a title shot, and if he lost, they would shave his beard. And say that they had a really entertaining match, and Justin won, and the crowd just went ballistic. And then the Kings of the North came out, jumped him, and shaved him anyway, even though they won the match. And my God, it was like Puerto Rico in there. I thought someone was going to get stabbed. It was people just went fucking ballistic at this injustice. And then the faces, of course, got their redemption because the Nasties won the title at the next show. But it's been in hindsight, it's been a really great feud, and don't know what they're going to do with heel Justin Shape, but angles like that are always great in OTT because fans are way into it, and they're way into the locals as well. Like they really love the local acts, and that brought us to the 2 very not locals in the main event.
Yeah,
Irish wrestling legend Ricochet, 2FM alumni, versus Will Ospreay, and people just were going crazy for this, like from the go, basically.
I mean, how do you even talk about this? I mean, I've attended lots and lots of live shows now. God, this must have been my 15th, 16th live wrestling show, something like that. I've never seen anything like this. I would say far and away the best match I've ever had the pleasure of seeing live. Just incredible. Not the wrestler, just he wasn't there. But the match was incredible. Go on. Anyway, what were you saying?
It's Ospreay is like, and this is true for his previous appearances. He is like next level. Like, take the most over person in OTT, and Ospreay's like above them. It's like I think it helps, kind of like in WWE. It helps that he's not there every month.
Yeah.
So it feels like, oh, this is an event because he's here. And Ricochet, obviously, his reputation precedes him. The best way I can just describe it really is just remember your awe the first time you watched the New Japan match, and then just imagine watching that live in front of your face, in front of 600 very happy, very excited people. I'm very excited to watch this back on VOD because I'm really want to see how it holds up. Because live, it was like the best thing you've ever experienced. Also, one thing I know is Ospreay, pretty much every time he's here, does a dive, like over the post or like out of the ring at some crazy angle. And it's like, I said it to my pal Sean next to me, I was like, look around you, like, this is not a big place. Like, the level of dives he's doing, it's a miracle he doesn't kill himself. For this one, Ospreay tried to whip Ricochet into the barricade. Ricochet, with his reflexes, leapt onto the barricade, but Ospreay shoved him into the crowd. And so Ospreay jumped from the ring post, out of the ring, over the barricade, into the crowd. And I was just incredible. Because, like, the fans, I mean, you want to talk about short notice on a dive. They had to get out of there right quick. But just absolutely bonkers.
But not even that. That was only part one. Because Ospreay, having jumped on Ricochet into the crowd, then makes his way back to the ring. And we're looking around. We're going, my God, what a spot. And then I'm looking around, taking it all in, and I hear Natty beside me go, duck, duck. And I'm looking around going, what? And I turn to my left, and I see behind me a big space has opened up, and I'm like, what is happening? And then I have Ricochet come, jumping over my head, back into the ring. I'm like, oh my fucking God. I've never had at a wrestling show, a wrestler jump over me before. That was the first. Because he made his way from where Will Ospreay jumped to him was to our right, and he made his way around the arena behind us without us realizing, and he came running because we were the last row. Let's say there was only 3 rows on the ground floor, and then the people behind us were raised. So he came running along, obviously, and jumped over our heads back to the ringside area. It was incredible. I've never seen anything ridiculous. Like it before. Mental.
Yeah, God, and it was just exhausting, and like I think their voices were gone, and everyone was just spent. After the match, they played their music and they had a little dance off. Usually Ospreay is part of a tag team called the Uptown Funkers in OTT, so they played Uptown Funk and had a dance off after the ring. Martina and Fabulous Nikki came out just to have a little Christmas celebration before everyone went home, and just completely bonkers. It's going to be so fun watching people, because the Flow Slam thing feels a bit like an event, so it would be funny to see people watch that match and see how they feel about it.
Oh, it was amazing. I mean, I would not normally seek it out, but I would probably also seek out a VOD of it just to experience it again. It had all the requisite flippy doos one would want from a Will Ospreay Ricochet match, but it was stiff, it was heated, it was athletic, there was bits of comedy. The match opened with a pec flexing and butt flexing competition. It had it all. It was I've never seen anything like it, and I probably won't again. The one regret I have from this show is when we were buying the tickets, I sent my brother a message if he wanted to come, and he was obviously asleep or something, and he didn't reply for 8 hours, by which point the tickets were gone. I so wish that he could have come, but like, amazing. I don't even have words to describe what it was like seeing Will Ospreay against Ricochet live. Never seen anything like it. Probably never will again. Amazing.
I can't imagine how I would have felt today if I didn't go.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Yeah. Unbelievable. I feel like I didn't even really notice that Ricochet was doing the run around jump over thing until he was literally in my frame of vision. You know what I mean? Like, I think so. It made even less sense to me.
Well, from me turning around and noticing that a big space had opened behind me was probably 2 seconds later. This huge man was running and flying over my head. I was like, ah! Yeah, I mean,
man.
It was,
take me back.
It was mad. The match was fantastic. There were 5-star chants, and the wrestlers themselves. Little Davey Meltzer got a name drop.
I'm sure he'll be watching. We'll fax him a coupon code for Vimeo or something.
I'd be very interested to see how it translates to a video medium. But in person, it was out of this world. It was crazy.
Yeah,
and it's nice to see myself in the crowd as well. My little fat head there in the back. As I said in the Finn Balor video, you can only see Natty at the wide angle shots, like from the hard cam, because she's obviously not very tall. But you can see my head in the shots that are from the ring itself. Like there's a cameraman in the ring. You can see me in the background there in the third row. So it's quite nice to be able to see yourself at that show and be like, that's me there. I was there.
Yeah, that's always fun.
Great,
yeah. So if you want to see that, you follow OTT Sideshow on Twitter. I don't know what the details of the Flow deal is. They usually put stuff up on Vimeo. I'm assuming they still will. So probably by mid next week, it should be up there. And then December 28th, I believe they said, it will be streaming live on Flow Slam.
Well, not very live, obviously, because
or quote unquote, it'll be on their stream.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So I'll probably go to the next one.
Whew. Yeah, I was going to ask if you think you'll go again specifically to the next one, or just ever again, in the
I think
future.
I probably will. Yeah, I had a very good time.
I don't know if you've seen it, but the Matt Riddle Will Ospreay match from Progress is fucking bonkers, and it's so great. Riddle is really great, so I imagine whatever match they put him in, that'll be fun. And Mark Andrews, I haven't seen Mark Andrews live before. He's done OTT, but I haven't seen it. Great wrestler, I've seen him in PWG, TNA, and Eddie Kingston was always something of a fave of mine. So they usually go on sale tickets the day after the Tivoli shows. I was kind of surprised when they weren't up this morning, but they are also in Belfast as we speak. So maybe they're finishing that weekend and then they're doing it. Because good news for them, both their shows this weekend were sellouts. So the February shows are also a doubleheader, Dublin and Belfast. So that's cool. Keep an eye out. As I mentioned, if anyone's listening to this and is in the area, definitely follow them on Twitter and consider going. And if you're not, keep an eye out for the Vimeo. Paul Griffin approved.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I brought my pal of mine from the UK who came. He's been to like Rev Pro and PCW, and he went to Ring of Honor when they were in Liverpool last week. And he was just like, "This was the best indie show I've seen. Like, it's so cool to be here." And it's a special thing. I mean, obviously I would think so, but like I don't really have the context of going to all these other places. So it's nice. It's nice for someone who's like been to a couple of different companies to say so as well. So yeah, that was OTT. I guess maybe next in the new year we'll have more coverage of that, and we can team up once again, and maybe we'll get Little Joe Towner over at some stage to attend as well.
That'd be great.
He can be a Charlie Sterling sympathizer.
No, Barry, I'm not booked. I'm not going to go unless I'm booked. I'm not booked.
Coming live from his trampoline.
Listen weights on his trampoline. Listen weights on his trampoline. Listen weights on his trampoline. Listen weights on his trampoline.